Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
Hi, everybody. I'm here because my farm is gone. The land just turned brown and died. It's happened to one of us. It can happen to all of us.
There you go. That's Jim from The Office.
Put it to a vote in 3 weeks.
All right, that's Jim from The Office, from the film The Promised Land. This is the latest attack on Marcellus Shale. And joining us today, Steve Forde from the Marcellus Shale Coalition. He's their Vice President of Policy and Communications. Joins us here on the Dom Giordano program. Hey, Steve, welcome in. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Dom. How are you?
Good, Steve. Have you seen Promised Land yet?
No, I have not had the pleasure to see it yet, but I understand you have.
Yeah, we have. It's a pretty dull film, but I'm sure there'll be a lot of push on this. See, what I wanted to ask you, the film, makes this nefarious manner in which people fan out from the Marcellus Shale, the various companies, and sign these people up under false pretenses, essentially. That's the thrust of it.
Right. Yeah, well, I think the main thrust of it also is that this is a pure work of fiction, and the makers of the film acknowledge that. The fact is, our coalition or our industry over the last several years here in Pennsylvania and across the entire region have been creating family-sustaining jobs, and we have saved family farms. We've revitalized the supply chain. We've revitalized the manufacturing base, and we've brought down the cost of natural gas for consumers.
Well, tremendously. Now, the film also is sponsored. They don't say fully enough. They just put produced by oil industries from, various Arab immigrants, the oil industry in Saudi Arabia, et cetera. And that's kind of a curious thing that I'm sure as the film comes out, we'll be hearing more about.
Well, more American energy and greater energy security here at home is certainly a threat, often to those who don't like us. And there's no doubt that as we safely produce more natural gas here in Pennsylvania, here in the United States, it's good news for American workers, good news for American consumers, and often it's bad news for those who prefer to have a stranglehold on our energy policy.
We're talking about Steve Forde, Marcellus Shale Coalition Vice President of Policy and Communications. I think one of the biggest stories here in the Northeast, there were two this year around Marcellus Shale. One, where the refineries that were saved, and two, Community College of Philadelphia set up this curriculum, not to be drillers or whatever, but all the spin-off jobs that are coming out of Marcellus Shale in Pennsylvania.
Absolutely. We've really had a full throttle effort in the southeastern part of Pennsylvania this year to expand public education, expand outreach. We've been working closely, certainly with a lot of the industries that are coming back to life in Philadelphia, with the community college as well. And we've launched a Learn About Shale initiative at learnaboutshale.org, where we're answering questions asked by residents of Philadelphia with fact-based information, as opposed to some of the fantasy that we're seeing on the silver screen. Fact-based information relied upon by third parties about the work that our industry is doing and the good news that's bringing to the southeastern part of Pennsylvania.
Steve Forde, parting question for you. What's the biggest question people have asked there, and what kind of answers did he give? And I know a lot of people have taken time to go to that website. There's been a lot of play out there in the media. What did they ask, and what did you respond to them?
The questions that we're getting asked, really, I would say they're two-pronged, probably the most of them. First, very basic questions about what is hydraulic fracturing, will it have an impact on our water? These are questions that our industry has been answering for some time in areas where we've been safely developing the resource. And understandably, those in Philadelphia where there's not any drilling occurring, they've got legitimate questions, and we want to answer them with facts. The other set of questions fall very much on the side of how do I get a job in this industry and what can it do for my family? And we're answering questions by certainly directing them to important job resources. We're seeing the Community College of Philadelphia and other institutions answer the call and developing curriculum to put Philadelphians to work in this industry, and it's momentum we look forward to carrying over into the new year as well.
Absolutely. Steve, have a great Christmas. Give that website again, please, if people have questions or want more information.
It's at learnaboutshale.org, and you can see answers to questions that have already been asked there, and certainly ask your own as well.
Thank you, Steve Forde. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks, Don. Have a good one.
Steve Forde, Marcellus Shale Coalition Vice President of Policy and Communications. You watch the film. You watch the push on it. I'm not a Matt Damon fan. That's part of the problem, but I am a Jim fan, except in the film. My God, it's kind of a dull film.